Alrighty. Hello, you guys. Welcome back. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you guys are seeing this video. Welcome back to another episode of Dre and Jay. It looks like
Yo,
Dre has a very happy smile on his face because he's ready to defend his guy today. Um, the topic that we are going to be talking about today, that was in recent news, um, was that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes talking about the struggles of the Chiefs right now and why they're currently 2-3. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right into this. So pretty much the story has been that Andy Reid has suggested that a great part of the reason why Mahomes has turned over the ball so much this season, well up to this point, is that because of the fact that the Chiefs are allowing so much points on defense that he ends up trying to do too much, and it ends up in him being prone to making more mistakes. But then, obviously Mahomes, as the quarterback and of the leader of the team, as you would expect, comes out and says, "Hey, there's nobody to blame on these turnovers but me. That starts with me." At the end of the day, you know, Patrick Mahomes, he wants to be aggressive as possible, as he has been his whole career, but he's not going to change his whole game, you know, just because of the way that they're playing right now. Obviously he still wants to stay aggressive. But Andy Reid did also go on to mention that the way that Patrick Mahomes is wired is that he wants to get you on every single play. He wants to, get as much as he can on every single play and maximize every single down. So what is your stance on this, Dre? Do you believe that Andy Reid is right in the sense that Mahomes is, Mahomes is still doing his thing. He's still playing at a high level, but he's the reason why he's making a lot of mistakes is because he has to do his best to keep his team in the game while the defense is folding. Or do you believe that it is most of the blame does deserve to be on Patrick Mahomes for turning the ball over, because maybe he's playing a little bit too aggressive than usual, or just making boneheaded decisions? Like, what's your take? What's your stance on this whole situation?
Pat Mahomes is just trying to be nice. He's trying to be a leader, like you said, because you don't want to alienate the defense because you don't know how guys are going to react. If they feel like they're going to get blamed, it could go one or two ways. They could either get motivated to play better, or they could get in their feelings and play worse. Pat Mahomes is just trying to do damage control. He's trying to try to help rally the guys the best the way he knows how, because I don't understand how it's his fault when they allowed 29 points against the Browns without any Pat Mahomes interceptions. So basically, Pat Mahomes went 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and they still gave up 29. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb averaged like 5.5 yards a carry, and they couldn't stop shit. So I don't understand how it's Pat Mahomes' fault. Um, let's go to the next game. Pat Mahomes against Pat Mahomes against the Ravens.
The
What was
Ravens.
35 to 36. Yes, Pat Mahomes threw an interception in that game, but held. He also had 5 passing touchdowns. Where was that defense? So basically, by your logic, because I know what the argument you're gonna make is, oh well, you still can't throw the football. You're putting your defense in a bad spot. According to the stats here, it shows here that passing offense, they're fifth in passing offense, seventh in rushing. Overall yards, they're sixth in offense, fifth in points, and
Mm-hmm.
first in third down percentage. That
Oh wow.
defense, let me go to that defense. That defense in total yards, second to last, 31 in total offense. Passing defense, they're 29th. Rushing, 30th. Points, dead
Dead.
last. Dead last. Dead last.
Yeah, they're dead
So
last
Pat
in
Mahomes,
points.
basically, they're dead last in passing. Like, bruh, Pat Mahomes has no choice but to throw them to victories, bruh. So sometimes, yes, it's gonna mean that he has to stand in there a little bit longer and make something happen that's not there. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Well, the one thing that I will say that's interesting about this is because usually in a situation like this, Andy Reid, I mean, usually the coach, puts the blame on the quarterback and says, "Hey, look, this is a team effort, but at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes has got to be better." But he's pretty much coming out and saying, "Look, man, our defense has been atrocious. Patrick Mahomes is doing everything he can to keep us in the game, and this is the product of him trying to keep us in the game." But I feel like it's actually both. I'm not gonna just straight up sit here and say no, Patrick Mahomes has to be better. He does. But I actually found, which was crazy, is that even if people are so called saying that he's not playing as good as he usually is, at the pace he is right now, he's on pace for 54 touchdowns right now, 54 passing touchdowns. That
And how
is
many interceptions?
ridiculous. Well, right now, in terms of interceptions, he has 6, and that's already matching what he had last year. So he's already on pace to obviously throw more interceptions. He's probably going to end up with twice as much as he already has once the season is finished. Who knows? I could be wrong. He might not throw another 2 picks the rest of the year. But I feel like you got to ease off on the defense just a little bit because you got to, I mean, like you said, look at the teams you played. Those are all pretty much really, really good offenses. You got Los Angeles, who's 4-1 right now, if I'm not mistaken. You got Baltimore, who's 4-1, if I'm not mistaken. And you got Cleveland. Like, those are all like ridiculously good offenses. And then the Eagles too. Now the Eagles is kind of an exception because you I mean they you guys I mean you guys still put up 30 points on them even though you guys have your offense has been kind of up and down.
No
So I
running
will
game
say
whatsoever.
I will say that game they definitely folded. And then last week they played Buffalo. So I just feel like the Chiefs defense has just had bad luck in terms of who they played. Those are all ridiculously good offenses. Now I'm not making
But
excuses for
Jamar,
the
bro,
Chiefs
dead last,
defense.
bro. Dead
I'm
last.
not. Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm not making excuses for them. Dead last is still not an excuse. They don't have scrubs on defense, but I just feel like it's kind of complimentary. I feel like at the same time the Chiefs do have to try to cut down on the aggressiveness just a tiny bit. I just don't see any really true harm in it. I'm not saying you don't have to take as much shots downfield, nearly as much shots. But I mean, I feel like they should try to go for the safer plays every once in a while. And you got to think about it like this too. When you throw those interceptions, especially in midfield, you're putting your defense in a bad position. You're almost the other team's almost about to be in field goal range. So I feel like it's I'm not gonna strictly say it's one or the other, but I just feel like I don't think you could be too hard on the defense, even though like you said they are dead last. Um, Andy Reid also stated that he realized that the Chiefs have realized that teams are starting to blitz a lot less versus the Chiefs, and they're playing a lot more off coverage, and zone coverage to kind of limit the big plays. And it looks like it's starting to work because you're telling me that I'm literally playing my defense to like be prepared for the big play, and you're still trying to go for the big play, and like it's not working. So wouldn't you agree that the Chiefs should start to take some more of those safer plays? And hey, the deep play's not here. Let's just try to go for the short routes because you can't play in the NFL just having a deep passing attack. You gotta have a short and intermediate passing game too. Wouldn't you agree?
You blame them, bro? The defense can't stop shit, and the time of possession's gonna get out of hand, bro. The big play is the only thing that they have left. Like the defense can't stop nothing. It's not like they have a great running game where they could take their time, push the ball down.
But when the defenses play the Chiefs, they're literally saying, "Bro, we're not gonna blitz you. we're gonna give you all the time in the world, but it's gonna be hard for you to find somebody open because we're gonna their offense is literally designed to like attack the deep parts of the field. So now they're starting to back off to try to eliminate the big plays. So what's wrong with them starting to take, the intermediate plays? They don't have, you don't I'm not saying don't be as aggressive or don't be nearly as aggressive, but we can't just sit here and act like they can't, start to just take, like, is it bad to hear the Chiefs, oh, the Chiefs need to take what the defense is giving them? Is that like, does that sound like abnormal? Like, I just don't understand.
Uh, you're right.
Like,
They need to, kind of go back to the drawing board, say, all right, let's try to pick them apart. Let's try to use the running game more, but they just won't. I don't know, but maybe Pat Mahomes feels like he has to answer after his defense let the other team score.
the crazy thing about it, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens this week because I actually thought the Washington football team's defense was a lot better than than it actually is, because what I found is that they're actually very close, like to the bottom, like almost dead last in points per
They're like,
game, because they've allowed just about 30 points every game, just like the Chiefs. So it seems like this game could actually become I mean, I'm not gonna say shootout, but it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens because their defense is not, in terms of points allowed, they're allowing a lot of points too. So I mean, I just feel like the Chiefs, I just feel like there's not going to be anything wrong with them, you know, just, kind of backing off a little bit from trying to get the big plays cuz it's like they're trying to get it's like Patrick Mahomes, the way he's wired. He wants I want a 50-yard touchdown every play. I'm not saying there's
basically,
anything wrong with that mentality. But I'm just saying, if you see that the defense is trying to take the big play away, why are you still trying to go for the big play? Not saying just don't be aggressive as you usually are. I'm not asking the guy to change his whole playing style that has worked for him since he's been in the league. I'm not asking him to do that. I'm just saying, what harm is it going to have in the offense to kind of start taking a little bit more of what the defense is trying to give you?
time
Let
of possession.
keep hitting them with the short passes, run the ball, and then when they come up, bam, then you go over the top. I mean, now I know it sounds basic and that's basic football, but I mean, they have the weapons. It seems like just about every week, when they're not turning over the ball, they're unstoppable. So I mean, all I'm saying is I feel like you got to put some of the blame on Patrick Mahomes too. The defense has to tighten up, but at the same time, I feel like Patrick Mahomes just needs to be a little bit less aggressive than he's been at to this point. Like they've said, he's already surpassed the amount of interceptions that he had all last season last year. So I mean, I get what people are saying, that the defense might not be playing as good, so he has to be a little bit more aggressive. I feel like they just need to calm down, and I don't think there's anything wrong with them just taking the short and intermediate routes. You could still take all your deep shots. You can still take all your deep shots. You're not going to get those deep shots taken away when you have a guy like Tyreek Hill on the field. You're always going to get those. But I'm just saying, I just feel like there's not going to be any harm in them, kind of bringing their game back a little bit and attacking them in the middle portions of the field. I just don't feel like there's going to be any harm in that. That's all I'm saying.
The only thing with that, like, this is the only reason why probably feel like they're not doing that more. Like, can you really trust Tyreek Hill with intermediate routes? Like, you're basically saying, all right, then short right, short pass situations, because usually where they're more successful is when Pat Mahomes is out of the pocket extending,
Right.
give Tyreek a little bit more space to work. Now, if you're taking what the defense is giving you, you're doing more underneath. How can you trust that guy to catch contested footballs. Like,
Well, that's fair. Well, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. I definitely will say I've never really been a huge fan of Tyreek Hill when it comes to like in terms of his hands and his catching ability.
being a traditional receiver, two
Yeah,
step
exactly.
drop
I
type.
I see
I
where you're
can't
coming
touch it.
from. All I'm
I can't
saying
touch
is I see where you're coming from. All I'm trying to say is I just feel like they're just I just don't feel like you could just strictly say that it's I mean, like I said, I feel like it's both. The defense has been playing bad. They've been allowing a ton of points.
Yeah,
But I mean, like I said, and sometimes that's just the way that the defense is going to be when you're playing against these high-powered offenses. I'm not giving them excuses. They definitely got to tighten it up. But I'm just saying, I just feel like it's kind of hand in hand. It's complementary. I feel like just the whole team in general just has to improve.
yeah.
So that's kind of where my stance is on that. Do you have anything else you want to
Nah,
do you what do you so,
I just want to reiterate that Pat Mahomes is just being nice. That defense is terrible. Like, and Andy Reid, if he thinks he's gonna get away with trying to win another Super Bowl with that defense, bro, he's crazy.
I don't blame him because like I said, as the quarterback, if you get asked that question, bro, you're not gonna say, you know what? Um, yeah, the defense needs to improve. They've been giving up a lot of bro. He's not gonna come out and say that as a quarterback and as the leader of the team. You're gonna take the blame and put it upon yourself.
Yeah,
So I don't blame him for saying that. I'm just saying I feel like it's kind of hand in hand. Their defense definitely has to improve, but I mean, in some situations, you're just going to be up against teams that can put up points, and you're just going to have to be able to match them. And that's just kind of the way it is. It's getting to in the NFL, with teams passing the ball more and more. It looks like a lot of teams just don't even care about running the ball anymore. So there's going to be weeks where you're going to have, unfortunately for them, the first 5-6 weeks,
yeah.
you're going to go, they went up against all pretty good offenses for the most part. So I mean, it'll definitely be an interesting thing to watch over the next coming weeks. And like I said, the Washington football team is allowing like almost close to the Chiefs in terms of points allowed. So it'll be very interesting to see if how much the Chiefs have everything clicking in this game. You have anything else you want to add?
Nah, that's it.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Tell us what you guys think. Do you feel like Andy Reid was right? Patrick Mahomes is trying to overcompensate for the defense, or do you feel like it's straight up on Patrick Mahomes to make sure that he eliminates the total turnovers? Tell us what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video to your football friends. And we'll go ahead and see you guys soon. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night so that we can be up for this Dolphins and Jaguars game
Let's go.
for
Let's
Tua to
go,
go out
Philly.
and
Let's
ball
go.
out.
Everybody got going on.
Tua's gonna come out and show why he's better than Jalen Hurts and who's the real
Oh,
Alabama quarterback.
you did not
So
just say that, bro.
before he says anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and end the
Bro, wrap the
broadcast
video up, bro. Wrap the
before
video up.